We begin this morning with what's expected to be an historic march on Washington. 500,000 people from all corners of the country will flood the Capitol to say they've had enough of gun violence.
The March for Our Lives rally is being organized by students who survived the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. 14 of their classmates and 3 school staff members were killed in last month's attack, and since then, student activists have been calling for stricter gun control measures.
Today, they're hoping their message will be amplified at a rally that runs straight through the nerve center of the nation's leadership. Jeff Pegues is on Capitol Hill. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Police in this city are bracing for those 500,000 people to gather here today for this rally. In the 5.5 weeks since the shooting in Parkland at the high school, students have become activists, and they've been successful keeping the gun control debate in the headlines, as it will be today with this protest, which will be one of the biggest in Washington in recent memory. Pray for peace, pray for peace, pray for me, pray for me. At a concert to benefit gun control groups last night, some of the Stoneman Douglas students took to the stage. Their message: the push to tighten gun laws doesn't end with today's rally.
Go back home. Go make a change, go make a difference, find what you can do, write your congressman, do all that, make a difference in the world, because this can't happen again.
The seeds of their activism were planted in a mass shooting back on February 14th, when suspected shooter Nicholas Cruz opened fire at their Florida high school. Police say Cruz used a legally purchased assault weapon in the shooting. But the 19-year-old had been on the radar of law enforcement, including multiple tips that he might have been planning a school shooting.
Gunshot victims will go up.
Within days, some of the Stoneman Douglas students began their campaign of pressuring leaders on gun control.
To every politician who is taking donations from the NRA, shame on you.
Since February 14th, students around the country have continued this call. 1 month to the day after the shooting, thousands of students nationwide participated in a walkout from their school. The CBS News poll out this morning finds Americans by an almost 2-to-1 margin support young people speaking out on guns and safety.
We're the next generation who's going to get to vote, so we're going to be able to vote them out of office if they don't do anything to protect us.
Students from around the country are gathering here as part of a student-led movement that began in the days and hours after the shooting.
Yeah, how many days has it been? 5, 4?
Not even, right?
This all started at my house. We've just been there.
How about Emma?
I haven't seen her in like 20 minutes. The original goals of Never Again were to make one center where we could all be together and grieve and demand change in one spot.
We were trying to focus on what would get the most people behind us. Who can we send out to which interviews?
We need to be there around 6:20, okay?
Everybody's on computers, everybody's making calls, everybody's trying to remember to eat.
Organizers of today's march are calling on Congress to ban the sale of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and to tighten background checks to prevent dangerous individuals from buying guns online or at gun shows. But not all of those affected by the tragedy in Parkland think this is the best way forward. Andrew Pollock, whose daughter Meadow was killed at Stoneman Douglas, says school security should be the priority.
It's great that the kids are out there together and they have a voice. You know, I feel their pain, but if they're going to concentrate on gun control, I think they're wasting their time. What we need right now in this country is school safety.
And there are a number of so-called sibling marches planned for cities across the country today, similar to what's happening here, but not as big. Just to give you an idea of how savvy the organizers of this march are, they have set up voting registration booths. That is their way of making lasting change based on what's happening here today. Rena.
Yeah, clearly not just one day. Jeff Pegues on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Jeff. Well, CBS will have live reports from today's march, as well as on CBSN, our 24-hour streaming news channel, and also our special documentary, 39 Days, will air tonight at 8, 7 Central, right here on CBS.